Hi everybody, how are you? Thank you for stopping by my channel. A while back I had asked if you guys would like to see a video on what would I do if my makeup didn't make it with me on a trip. You know, if something happened, I left it at home. You know, what would I do if I was traveling to get me through until I got back home? So I started thinking about it and thinking, what would I buy? Now, I wanted to add another layer to this about being on a budget. For those who do not have a budget and you can go out and spend whatever you want and go to Sephora or Macy's or Ulta, whatever, great. You know, you're very fortunate. But the rest of us, it's about a budget, and I wanted to see if I could keep it to like 50 to 60 bucks, and I think I have. And I'm going to give you some options because depending on where you are, you know, that will tell you what kind of stores you can purchase in or go shopping. You know, is it going to be a Walmart? Is it going to be like a CVS, a Walgreens, or something else? So I tried to find products that were very available, readily available across different stores. So let's get started on some of the things I picked out. Foundation. You know, foundation in drugstores anymore is not necessarily the least expensive thing in there, and foundations are getting more and more expensive. But you know what? Foundations are getting better and better and better. And with that, you can get some great affordable foundations without breaking the bank. And I've got 3 different ones that I think is fantastic. So depending on the budget. One of them is the L'Oreal Nude Magic. I like this foundation because it's a lightweight, it dries to kind of a powdery finish, and it just works great on my skin without, I don't like the feeling of heavy makeup on my face. So I really do like this one. Now, if this is part of your budget, this could be a great option for you. Now, that one's probably the most expensive out of all of them. Another one would be from L'Oreal, and this is the True Match, and a lot of times you can get this on sale. So I'm giving you some different options depending what would be on sale in your area, that if it ever did happen. Excellent foundation. You know, you can build it up to full coverage. Otherwise, it's a medium coverage. It does, you know, last all day. You can use a little extra around your eyes if you need a little more concealing, if you don't want to purchase a concealer. It is an excellent option. I really do like this foundation. Now, for the price, I think this one's probably, in my opinion, the best one on the market, for like $6. And this is the Rimmel Lasting Finish Foundation. It says it's a 25-hour wear. It's full coverage. If you need to sheer it out a little bit, put a drop of moisturizer in it and a drop of water, you know, mix it together and then apply it to your face. It'll sheer it out. Otherwise, you can get a full coverage on this. When I use this foundation, I do not need a concealer. So this would be a great option for, I think, about $6 at Walmart or something, and then I wouldn't need to purchase a concealer. But this Rimmel Lasting Finish, excellent. But let's say I do want a concealer. I think overall, for the money, the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, I had to think what it was a second, is probably one of the best ones on the market. You can build it up if you need more coverage. Otherwise, you can, you know, lightly pat it around. It doesn't crease on me, but it gives a nice finish without looking cakey. So I do think this is an excellent concealer. And I think, what, $5 or something like that it runs. So it's a good one. And it would be something that I would continue using. So I do like it. Now, powder. Got to set your foundation, concealer, and I think I only picked one on this one because I really do like this. I use this a lot, almost every day, and it's the Rimmel Stay Matte. I think this is an excellent setting powder. If you have oilier skin in the summertime like me, this really does help control the shine. And it's what, $4 or $5. This is just an excellent powder, and I wouldn't even think twice about whether or not I would buy it. It's something that I would always use and keep with me. So this is an excellent one. Now, blush. I've brought out 4 different options, and they're all about $5 or less, which that had to be something I think when you're looking at a budget, you've got to think about what are you going to spend the extra money on. Maybe it's a little bit more on the foundation, you know, maybe it's a little more on eyeshadows, I don't know, but you know, I'm just giving you some options to think about. And depending on where you are, it depends on what blush you can get. I think an excellent one, Essence. This is for like $3. Excellent blush. Love it. Very silky, very pigmented, just excellent. Another one, Wet n Wild. I think overall, you know, bang for your buck. This is probably one of the best that you can get out there pretty much everywhere. And it looks great. I've used it for several years now, and I can't complain about any of the Wet n Wild products. Well, yes I can, but not about the blush. I think their blushes are excellent. Now, some people don't want to hear about this brand, but you know what? They do have some good products, and this I think is $1, and that's the e.l.f. blush. Some of their blushes are, what, $3? I don't think you can go wrong with that. It's a little more powdery, but you know, if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend a lot of money and just get you through until you get back to your regular makeup, this is an excellent one. There's no doubt about it. Probably my overall favorite blush, but you can't get it everywhere, but it's inexpensive. And I like NYX. I really like NYX blushes. I mean, they're, what, $4 to $5, but you can't always find them in all the stores. So that's why I brought the other ones out, because I know that you'll find at least one of them wherever you would be. But this is an excellent, excellent blush. I use them all the time. So I can't say anything bad about the NYX blush. Now, primers. I like primers. A lot of times I think when you use more drugstore type eyeshadows, or even any eyeshadow, when you think about it, if you can add a primer, it just gives your shadow something to cling to for longer wear. And for $1, e.l.f. eyeshadow primer is excellent. There is no doubt about it. You don't have to spend a lot of money on an eyeshadow primer and get a good one that's going to help you extend the wear of your eyeshadows. This is excellent, e.l.f. Now, I'm not as crazy about this primer, the eyelash primer, but in a pinch, I think this would be good. And it's what, $1, $2 at the most. It does take a couple of coats to really start building up on your eyelashes, and then you can add your mascara and it works great. But if you are a person like me who loves eyelash primers and you're on a budget because you don't want to go out and purchase something that's $20 or more, try the e.l.f. eyelash primer. It does work. Now, eyeshadows. This can be tricky. You can spend a lot of money, or you can get some great palettes, you know, depending on what you want to spend. And most of these, well, I've got two different ones that I do like. And this one is the Black Radiance. And this is, what, Downtown Browns. And I think it's a beautiful palette, if I can get it open. Just very pretty. Very beautiful browns. But you can't always find this everywhere. So if it was there, this would be an excellent one to get. You get, you know, some very pigmented eyeshadows if you like browns. I just think this is a beautiful palette. It runs about, I think, $6. Now, it's the same company, Black Radiance, so that is Wet n Wild. And I think this eyeshadow palette is unbelievable for $5. And this is what, Comfort Zone. Beautiful shadows, no doubt about it. Now, the only thing is, they're all shimmery. And if you want a matte in there, you are going to have to bring in a matte. And an excellent one, I think, is these little Milani shadows. It's an excellent matte. And I've got another use for this too. But this is an excellent eyeshadow palette, Comfort Zone by Wet n Wild. Two other ones by Maybelline that will get you through a lot. And the first one is the Nudes. I mean, beautiful colors. If you don't want to buy an eyeliner, use this black and use a smudge brush, like a little one that's very, you know, small, dense, and you can run it along your eyelash and it looks like eyeliner but softer. I think this is an excellent palette. It does run, what, $9.99 or something like that, but if you can get it on sale, you know, this could be an option that if you're out looking for something and you didn't want to spend a lot, and look at all the shadows you get. Beautiful. The other one, if you don't want to spend that amount and you just want to get a smaller little quad, I think this is an excellent one. Maybelline Designer Chocolates. I just think it's beautiful, the colors that you get, and it'll give you some great looks without spending a lot of money. I love this eyeshadow quad. It's just beautiful. But you may not always be able to find it too. Now, I said something about Milani and getting, you know, more of a matte color. This would also, and this one is Cappuccino. This could also be used if you're lighter haired as eyebrow powder. No problem with that. It would work great for it. But this would be a great matte shadow, like for transition or anything like that. But you can't always find Milani everywhere, so I didn't have other little mattes in a single little pot to even pull from. So I may have, if I leave my makeup home, I may have to go without a matte. Now, this is something that I really do like, you know, contouring, you know, kind of, this would be a great matte. They also call this a blush, but I'm not sure why, because I don't think it's anything blushing. And it's the NYX. It's in the blush section, but it's called Taupe. This could be a great transition color, contouring the nose, the cheekbones, around the forehead. This is just beautiful. You can go as heavy hand or as light hand as you want. It just works great, but it works great on the eyes too. I think NYX blushes and lip products are some of the best on the market, and for the price, I don't think you can beat them. And in case you didn't know, L'Oreal purchased them recently. Now, eyebrows, couple options. You can go with a pencil, and this is just the Wet n Wild and a 648. It's a nice taupe. You can use it, but get a spoolie to run it through there. If this does not transfer the color enough, hit it with your hair dryer a little bit. It'll soften it up, and it works great for your eyebrows. Another one, if you can get it. Now, you know, this is Milani, and Milani's not everywhere. They have their little brow kit. This is an excellent little brow kit for like $5. So if you can find Milani, great. If not, go for the eye pencil and kind of brush it out just to get the color deposit in there. Eye pencil, e.l.f. I mean, for $1, you can't beat it, and it does work. Now, 2 more sections. Well, let's go 3. Brushes, let's just say your brushes are in with your makeup. You can get one of the little kits at wherever the store is that you're in. You know, a little travel kit works great, but if you don't, you know, if you want to add a couple extra brushes to it, go for the e.l.f. These are just the little $1 eyeshadow brushes. You can get your little smudger, you can get like the crease, and you can get the shadow packer. I use these brushes all the time, so it wouldn't bother me one bit having another set of them. In fact, I think I have a couple sets upstairs. So for $3, you get some great eyeshadow brushes. I do like these. Now, mascara. There's a couple of drugstore mascaras I really do like. And, you know, it's about $5, $6 at the very most. One of them is the Revlon Lash Potion. I just think this is a great mascara. It builds. It just works great for me. I've always liked it. Another one by Revlon is the Grow Luscious. I just think it's another excellent $5 is usually what I see it for where I am. And it just works great. And you can get some great lashes with it. But you know what? If it's not, you know, those aren't on sale, but you know, Maybelline's on sale. I like this is what, the 1x1. I think this is an excellent mascara. You know, see what's on sale. And if that's not on sale, and you know, CoverGirl, go for Clump Crusher. It's an excellent mascara. So you got to kind of think about what is on sale, what have you used. And I don't think you can go wrong with Revlon, Maybelline, you know, or CoverGirl with that. The only one I don't like is the Great Lash by Maybelline. Now finally, lip products. There's a lot of lip products out there, and depending on how much money you've got left over, depending on what you purchase from these things, you know, you can go with the L'Oreal Glossy Balm. These are beautiful. If they're on sale, great, even better. If not, and you can see NYX, NYX lip products, these glosses and lipsticks, they're just excellent and they're not expensive. So if that's available, go for NYX. That's what I would go for first and foremost. But let's say there's no NYX. I would go for Rimmel lipsticks because they're excellent and they're not expensive, or I would go with the Color Whisper. I think those are another great option. Rimmel, Color Whisper, they're both very nice. They're moisturizing and they last all day. And the final thing, if you had to have it, I don't know if you necessarily need it, some people think they do, lip pencils, NYX or Jordana, some of the best lip pencils out there and very inexpensive. So hopefully that gave you some options to think about, that if you ever were in an emergency situation and you needed to replenish some makeup, what would you buy? You know, I went through my stuff and I looked to see what I had, and these would be options so I know if I'm ever in a bind, in a pinch, you know, without my makeup and I want to go out and get something, I know I've got some great options here for like $50 to $60 for, you know, everything. Yeah, but I gave you options to figure out what is in your budget, because some things are a little more expensive than others. So nothing's going to break the bank, but at least gives you a variety of options. So thank you so much for those of you who have already subscribed. If you haven't, I hope you do so down below. And until the next video, I wish you all a great day. Take care, and if you're in an area like I am, stay warm. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.